Alright, I wanted to do an impromptu video here to showcase my build because I'm like the 15th Toxic Rain build on the hardcore ladder right now, on level 85, and we're only a week into the build. And I don't see many other builds on PoE.Ninja doing things in the exact same way. So I am Toxic Rain, Quill Rain, Pathfinder. It's pretty relatively cookie cutter. There's nothing too interesting about it. I haven't even done Uberlab yet. It's the bones of a generic ranger tree, but it has all the damage over time nodes, and I do have 80% total poison chance between the gem and my tree, and I get my last 20% from Herald of Agony. So on my tree, I'm focused on a ton of chaos damage with attack, generic damage over time, and projectile, because all of that is what's going to help both the impacts of my Toxic Rain, the damage over time from the vines, and the poison afterwards. Surprisingly, I don't get much mileage out of physical damage, generic physical damage, and I don't even get too much out of generic projectile damage at the moment. Focusing on chaos damage tends to be the best for this. My gear, I have a 5-link Quill Rain, I have a Toxic Rain, Mirage Archer, Vicious Projectiles, Void Manipulation, and added chaos damage. I also have Caustic Arrow in a ranged attack totem with GMP and Withering Touch as a support setup to just get some DOT single target down. My Herald of Agony is on a 4-link, supported by Vicious Projectiles, Faster Attacks, and Void Manipulation. Faster Attacks is kind of a compromise because I don't want the increased mana multiplier of minion speed. I have Blink Arrow, supported by Faster Attacks and Withering Touch, and I have a Summon Lightning Golem. Most people seem to be running Stone Golem, but I like the little bit of increased attack speed. I'm also running Despair on a cast when damage taken setup, and I have Herald of Purity and an extra Smoke Mine in. My gear is fairly generic for the build. I have a Quill Rain and Maloney's Nightfall, a bunch of just evasion rares, decent rares, a few chaos apiece. The only interesting thing is I am running a Carcass Jack because the area damage seems to work on everything, and the increased effect seems to work on everything. So it looks like that. Those circles are huge, and they all overlap, and it kills everything. I have 100% chance to poison right now. I do 500 poison damage a second, and my poisons last for 2.8 seconds. I shoot really, really, really fast, and I have a ton of base damage somehow between Herald of Purity and added chaos damage support that I seem to be doing a ton of damage with every single part of the skill all at once. I'm going to be running this tier 9 tower map because it's a Shaper stronghold, and I've never done one of these before, I'm not going to lie. And that's most of the impetus between me doing this video at this time. Typically, I only play hardcore, and I usually die at about level 80 and rage quit the league about 3 characters in. So, this is my first character of the league, unsurprisingly, with it being a week in. Well, I say first character of the league, but I, of course, lost like 3 people at level 20. So it is definitely an evasion Pathfinder. was summoning my golem. Didn't realize I was on the... Yikes. Edge of the DOT. God, I hate abysses. Spiky fizz damage. Shouldn't be picking up stuff on YouTube, huh? I don't do this often. I didn't go through my flasks, but they're nothing interesting, just 2 Quicksilver flasks. One of them of anti-freezing. One of them makes me go really fast. I have a Jade flask. It's just a Jade flask. And I have 2 flasks of staunching. Eventually, when I do Uber Lab, I'd switch those staunchings to 1 curse res and 1, like, I don't know, poisons are scary. Maybe anti-shock. You even put on a mana flask. Oh, yeah, mana flask. I don't know how other people sustain mana with this build. I see half the builds on PoE.Ninja also use a mana flask. I have mana leech. I have a buttload of mana on kill. The problem is all my damage is DOT damage indirectly. So I can't really leech off of anything, so leech doesn't really work on the character. And especially if I'm just spamming stuff to get DOTs down that isn't necessarily going to be impacting enemies immediately, like in a delve. I'm just dumping mana without doing any direct damage, getting nothing back. And if I don't have a mana flask, I'll empty out and be stuck there. It's hard to get regen otherwise on a ranger. I walked right into that. I walked right into that. I would rather not.
My mana is gone.
Okay, that's what she's supposed to do with those, huh?